Just when you thought life was simple, the world changes. This lesson will talk about modal interchange. This is basically moving modes around to achieve a new color or sound in your playing. There are some standard methods to do this, and we'll cover 3 of them. The practice section covers 3 more examples. Basically, we need to find out what chords live in certain keys and be able to pivot from those chords into new perceived keys of the moment. This might sound confusing, but really it's not that bad. So let's dig in, and I shall explain. Welcome to modal interchange. What the heck does that mean? Well, it's just moving some scales around, basically. In a warm-up example, we had 2 chords, which are F sharp minor and A sus. We assumed that the F sharp minor was the 6th chord in the key of A major, and A major was the 1 chord in the same key. This is pretty much the standard way of doing it. So just to recap, the 1, the 4, and the 5, they're all major in the key. The 2, the 3, and the 6 are minor, and the 7th is diminished. So now when we see the chord F sharp minor this time, let's assume it's the 2nd chord from the key of E major. That would also make the A chord now being the 4th. So basically, instead of assuming we have a 6 and a 1 of A major, we're going to be thinking now we have the 2 and the 4 of E major. That's totally legal since these chords exist also in the key of E major. Now, we're going to play F sharp Dorian over F sharp and A Lydian over the A chord. So in your examples, I've just outlined the scale. What you have to do is practice with the backing groove to get used to this change. It'll sound a little bit funky to your ears, but you'll get used to it. So now I'm going to demonstrate this. What I'm going to do is first just play the scales I said over the groove, and then after it comes around, I'm going to improvise with it so you get an idea of what's going to happen. Are you ready? Here we go. Also note that we could just use the E Ionian scale over the whole progression and it would work fine, since they're all from the same family. So turn off the video and get used to this change before you even attempt the next lesson. Slowly but surely is the correct way. I hope you took your time on that last example. These things cannot be rushed. In this example, we'll be using the same chords. The only difference is that the A chord that we used to use before, which was A sus2, will now be an A7th chord. We have to figure out what key has F sharp minor as the 3 chord and A7th as the 5 chord. Process of elimination makes us come to D major. The key of D major has F sharp minor as the 3 chord and A7th as the 5 chord. So this time that means we can play F sharp Phrygian over F sharp and A mixed Lydian over the A7th. This is most noticeably going to give us a real Eastern type of sound over the changes, especially over the F sharp. So let me just play the scales for you right now over this backing track. The first, just up and down the scales, and the second time around, I'll improvise a little bit. Are you ready? Let's give it a shot. Also, on a side note, playing a D Ionian scale over the progression will work perfectly, since they're all from the same family. Notice the different colors happening when we're using this technique. So turn off the video and work with this sound for a while. Get used to the new positions and try just playing the Ionian scale over it also. Now it's time for a pretty tough example. Our chords are going to be the same, but we're going to perceive them each from being from different keys. For the F sharp minor chord, we're going to think it's the 2 chord in the key of E major. This means we'll play an F sharp Dorian over it. Unlike our last examples, we made the chords exist in the same key, thus being able to play a certain Ionian scale over it. Now, we're going to say the A7th chord is the 5 chord from D major. So we're going to play A mixo over this chord. So to sum it up, the first key of E has 4 sharps. The second key of D has 2 sharps. When we switch to A mixolydian, we will really hear the G and the D natural, which used to be sharp in the last key. Don't worry if that mumbo jumbo mixed you up. I just wanted to see if I knew what I was talking about. So now, I'm going to play the scales for you over this backing track. First time, as I said before, scales just up and down, and then when it comes around, I'm going to improvise over them. Are you ready to check it out? Here we go. Notice the new color sounds again. This time they're even stronger than before because we're implying 2 key changes. So turn off the video and work very hard at trying to master this simple idea.